In Ukraine, it's election time. Just one problem though. Ukraine is not holding this election. Russia is. That's right. It's Russia that has organized the latest election in Ukraine. Let me explain how this works. Voting is underway in 4 Ukrainian regions: Donetsk, Luhansk, Zaporizhia and Kherson. All 4 regions are under Russian occupation. They are ruled by governors appointed by Moscow. In October last year, Russia formally annexed these regions, and now they're holding elections. The idea is to solidify their control, to show their absolute authority over this territory. And how's the turnout? Well, looking at the pictures, not good. People aren't exactly flooding the polling booths. I guess that was expected. Ukraine has rejected this vote as a sham. The exiled mayor of Mariupol says people are being asked to vote at gunpoint.
It is clear that there is no trust from the people towards this process, which should be called a sham election. And it is also necessary to see that they'll go from house to house, as they have already done before. Also, they're going to walk from apartment to apartment, as they did before, talking to people. There are 2 soldiers standing nearby, carrying machine guns, and they tell the people that they must vote.
Does this election change anything? Officially, it doesn't. Just a handful of countries recognize Russia's control over these regions, states like Syria and North Korea. And despite these elections, that will not change. Just look at Crimea. Russia annexed Crimea all the way back in 2014. Moscow's control there is absolute, but even today, the world has not recognized it. So unless Kiev cedes this land to Russia, global recognition will not happen. Having said that, it does demonstrate Russia's grip. These 4 regions, plus Crimea, make up 20% of Ukraine. If Russia is holding elections there, it means Putin is confident. He is confident of the security situation. As for the results, let's not even kid ourselves. Only a fool would bet against Russia's candidates. Expect some mind-boggling victory margins here, maybe 80 or 90%. But coming back to Kiev, what does this mean for Zelensky and his government? It's a provocation and an insult. Imagine your enemy holding elections on your territory. You would be enraged. So what is Kiev doing about this? They seem to be escalating their drone strikes. Earlier today, one such strike was reported in Russia's Kursk region. Now, this is located in western Russia. It is home to a Russian nuclear power plant. Any damages? None so far. Russian officials say the plant is working fine. It has 4 reactors. 3 of them are operational. 1 is inactive. But damages or not, this attack is important. Remember, 1 nuclear plant is already involved in this war, the one in Zaporizhia. And now a 2nd nuclear facility could be targeted. Of course, Ukraine denies any of this. Kiev does not take responsibility for attacks inside Russia. They neither confirm nor deny the attacks. And why is that? Because NATO says they will only support defense, not offense. Meaning you cannot take the fight into Russia. You must fight within your borders. That's what NATO tells Ukraine. But don't these attacks violate that rule? Well, technically, they do. But Ukraine does not use Western weapons to strike inside Russia. They use their own weapons, like homemade drones. Clearly, Zelensky thinks that will keep NATO off his back. These drone strikes do have a political objective to scare the people of Russia. But strategically, they're pointless. Ukraine is not destroying anything of strategic value. For that, they need their counter-offensive to succeed, and that is not happening. It's been getting a lot of bad press, that counter-offensive. People are calling it slow, expensive, and a borderline failure. On Thursday, Ukraine's foreign minister hit back. He says, "Come fight Russia yourself."
Criticizing the slow pace of counteroffensive equals to spitting into the face of Ukrainian soldier who sacrifices his life every day, moving forward and liberating 1 kilometer of Ukrainian soil after another. I would recommend all critics to shut up, come to Ukraine and try to liberate 1 square centimeter by themselves.
That's Dmitry Kuleba for you, as charming as always. Over in Russia, the Wagner mystery is deepening. Their top boss, Yevgeny Prigozhin, died in a plane crash last week. Or did he? A social media account linked to Wagner has released a new video. It shows Prigozhin somewhere in Africa. What's more, he says he is alive.
For those of you who are discussing whether I'm alive or not, how I'm doing, right now it's the weekend, second half of August 2023. I'm in Africa. So for people who like to discuss wiping me out or my private life, how much I earn or whatever else, everything's okay.
So what's the deal here? Well, the video is said to be old. It was shot sometime in the middle of August. But talk about a mysterious coincidence. Of all the things he could have said, Prigozhin chose this, that he is alive. Russia has ruled out an international probe into his plane crash, but on Wednesday, the Kremlin did make an admission. It said the crash may have been caused deliberately. And who will investigate that? Russian officials, of course. So don't be surprised if Ukraine or the West is blamed. Either way, this phase of the war is proving to be highly eventful. It is filled with intrigue, escalation, and of course, more violence.